The latest nerf to ship salvaging is awesome in Star Citizen 3.18. This is from DedLeader. I think this is in relation to the somewhat current patch. I hear that this is what day is today? Today's Wednesday. I hear they're like figuring out a patch right now. But this is from the most recent patch that I've been playing. They seem to have made an adjustment to everywhere where you get salvage, and I think that this is in preparation for the salvage missions in 3.19. But let's see what DedLeader has found in relation to these in the current 3.18
reaching live
patch.
on Star Citizen 3.18. The latest patch drastically lowered the spawn rates of salvageable derelict ships in asteroid fields and Lagrange points. This was always a planned move, as there was an increased amount of them to allow for players to easily test the salvage gameplay.
Yeah.
So how
was it a planned move? Was it anything that they ever specifically said? I don't remember hearing that, but it's a move that makes sense to be a planned move, for sure.
where is it to come across a salvageable ship now? What's the most profitable way to salvage once salvage hits the live servers? And what is it everyone's been doing wrong with salvaging this entire time? My name's DedLeader,
clue me in.
and let's figure it out. I'm constantly amazed how often I see other content creators on stream or in videos salvaging inefficiently, only to conclude that it must not be very profitable for the time invested. And
he wouldn't be talking about myself, that's for sure.
From my test today,
I would never do
almost counterintuitively, the changes to spawn rates are likely to cause them to make more money than they usually would without really knowing why. Searching through an asteroid field, the changes were obvious. The majority of scans would result in finding mineable asteroids. In fact, in my session today, I only came across one single Avenger Titan to salvage.
Wow,
But
okay.
salvaging derelict ships is where people usually would go wrong, as procedurally spawned ships, while they look like they would be profitable, they take a long time to scrape and don't provide nearly any RMC for scraping them. The flashy 890 jumps floating around everywhere looked like they would be the most profitable, yet they're so unprofitable that it's just not really worth your time at all to even bother with them. Often people on stream would settle for salvaging these larger ships, since it's easier and more visually appealing to salvage a large ship than it is to go after where the real money is. And here's why the latest reduction in spawned derelict ships is a good thing, and why salvaging is about to get a whole lot easier and more profitable. During my tests, the one thing that wasn't so hard to hunt down were the salvage.
I'll move myself real quick. The 1700 is an asteroid. The 8,000 is salvage ship pieces, right? So that's what you're looking for. RS signature 8,000.
Ship pieces. These are small broken pieces of hulls that you can find in clusters around asteroids, easily discernible from other scannable objects since their ID are divisible by 2,000, and the higher the number, the more ship pieces can be found there.
Yeah, so he just mentioned divisible by 2,000, so it's not divisible by the 8, so there must be 4 of them there.
Now, to give you context, salvaging a ship, you can fill 1 SCU of RMC in roughly around 1 minute and 40 seconds, where with these ship pieces, you can get the same amount in about 23
Soloing a reclaimer.
23 seconds. And your instincts might be, oh, well, these ships are larger though, so you can scrape more boxes of RMC in total off of these ships' hulls than smaller pieces, yeah? Well, nope. The larger of these ship pieces that you can usually find in clusters, you could reliably scrape at least 10 SCU of RMC from it alone, where this Carrack, for instance, I had scraped pretty much the entire side of it and had only gathered around 2 SCU. Here's some side-by-side.
Why is it like that? It seems so counterintuitive, right? Like, just like you said, the ships are also visually appealing. Why wouldn't they also be the more profitable ones? Maybe they feel that there's going to be more of those around from just PES. I was curious about that decision always.
I have footage of me scraping a Carrack versus scraping a ship piece. This is pretty much all you need to know. Now, the reason why the reduction of derelict ships is a good thing is...
Look at the extraction rate. It hits like the 0.00, like 20, 30. And then like 0.0006 here.
They no longer clutter up your scans when you're looking for ship pieces. my recommendations for a soloer and a reclaimer at this point to get peak efficiency is, and if you can do it, get an alt account and on a second PC, set it up so you can keep a little Terry of your own in the salvage processing deck with a multi-tool. Go to an asteroid.
That's ridiculous, but yeah.
Field and scan for signatures divisible by 2000 to find the correct ship pieces.
How much money do you make from scrap? It's right here. For every SCU, 7,700. It looks like he's actually doing a bit of a counter.
Then jump into Salvage Turret and scrape it clean, using your alt account to stack the boxes as they come. This way you can scrape whole pieces clean without really needing to stop for very long. Move from piece to piece until the cluster is dry, then scan for another. If you can't find any more, just fly deeper into the asteroid field, about 6,000 kilometers, to continue scanning. You'll find another cluster pretty much immediately. I did this for about an hour and a half and ended up with 74 SCU of cargo, which sold for 570,000 Alpha UEC. Not bad if you can sort the equipment out for it. Luckily, I had some store credit left over, so I just made an old account and gifted a game pack and starter ship to it, and had an old PC around which managed to run Star Citizen well enough to pull it off. But if you can't afford to get an old account and you don't have a second PC lying around, the second best option would be join my salvaging org, the Skull Scrapers. You can find a link to join in the video.
That's the first best option, let's be real.
Video description, and make sure to join the Discord to go on salvaging expeditions with us once 3.18 goes live. It's a friendly place to meet some other Star Citizens, and it just so happens to be the DedLeader Discord also, so I'm always there if you ever want to ask questions. And lastly, I just wanted to say another massive thank you. It was less than a month ago that I last posted a big thanks, because we had just reached the milestone of 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we're now fast approaching 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is insane. Thank you so much, everyone, for leaving your comments and giving ideas and just, you know, being so nice. It was really surprising, and just, you know, it warms the cockles of my heart. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel and like this video, and let's see if we can make it to that 5,000 number.
So just a quick reference here. He's only got one SCU of cargo from the Carrack, 7,700, and 5 SCU, 38,500 in the on the right side there from the panels. Big difference.
Yeah, just wanted to say another big thank you, everyone. So as always, my name's DedLeader, and I'll see you out in the verse.
Very cool. I mean, that's where I would say that this is probably a good thing. I do think that it's setting up as well for the future, because C2s are really good, if I remember correctly. But is anything as good as those? I'm not sure. Those panels are really, really good, and maybe those will be in huge clusters of some kind. I think that would be a really smart thing for the devs to do for the most difficult high-end missions. Yeah, so I don't know. The idea of ships being as bad as they are is something that's interesting, that should be probably addressed for 319. I don't know why that is still a thing, given all the time they've been able to gather feedback on that. I know the team is clearly doing the mining changes right now as well, so maybe they'll come back and work a little bit on these salvage things, because I would say that there's probably a bit more to go to balance that out and get it really nice. I loved what they did with the Reclaimer to make it a bit faster than the Vulture, but I don't know. You would think an 890 jump, you would think a C2, you would think some of these larger ships like a Carrack would just yield a lot of value, but they just don't. So interesting. And basically what DedLeader's saying is this is a good thing. You're going to see more panels, you're going to go to less ships, and you're going to find these more valuable things more often instead of wasteful ships. So it's going to be better for everyone. But anyway, an interesting little look into what little sneaky change they made right before 318 goes live.